Howdy, it's Jim Arado, and this is late September 2022. We're currently in Anchorage, Alaska, and just a few pictures here before we actually get to the train ride. We took a great Alaska Railroad train ride from Anchorage to Seward, and this was the start of our trip. We actually stayed at the downtown Hilton, Anchorage, which was an okay hotel. It was, I guess, standard. And it's right in downtown. It's only maybe a 5-minute walk from the train station. It's all downhill. I did ask at the front desk that morning if we should call an Uber or if it was safe to walk, and they told me it was safe to walk. Anchorage, that was an appropriate question to ask if it was safe to walk. But they said it should be safe, and it was all downhill, so it was fine. The baggage check here at the Alaska Railroad was quick and easy, and then getting our boarding passes was quick and easy. I really loved this. This was one of the best train rides we've taken. It was organized. You'll see a lot of people hanging around, but they do a good job, and it just went really smooth. They've got a nice gift shop. They have some toy trains. I love this kind of stuff. I used to paint HO scale buildings for a family member's train layout. I love painting. I love miniatures. I love the trains they have here. But they have a nice gift shop. They've got a nice little train station, and I'll let you listen to some of the instructions just for your own benefit here.
Stars in my eyes when I get to write a ticket. Also, you cannot bring your own alcohol on board. We have a liquor license, which is like a bar or a restaurant. So keep that, your own liquor, stowed away in your bag until we get to Seward. Same thing, if I see you drinking liquor that you didn't buy from us, I get to confiscate it. That's how I keep my bar stocked. And I have quite an extensive stock of my bars. But anyway, if you're in Gold Star A or B, very important here, roller bags will not fit. You have to check them. The bags you're used to putting above the seat in the airplane will not fit in this car. It's all glass up there. There's no space above you. It's just a little bit of space underneath the seat. So if it's smaller than a backpack, you need to check it. If you take it with you and you get to the door, they're just going to send you right back here to check it. So you might as well check it right now. Now what we're going to do is the cars are lined up A and B to the left. C and D is behind me. E and F is to the right. And may I see that just for a second, sir? If you do not have a paper ticket that looks like this, you need to get in line to get one. Your electronic confirmation won't work because it doesn't tell us what car and what seat you're in. So if you want coffee that is fancy, as I call it, we have drip coffee on the train, but if you want an espresso or something, you need to go see the little espresso stand. And without further ado, let's get this party started. All aboard!
By the way, we did get one of their fancy coffees at the espresso stand. It was great. They do a good job. They weren't cutting corners. Get one if you go there. We kind of waited and let the crowd go by first. We stood back, and then we got on our train.
Hey, thank you. You're welcome.
And just a couple things I wanted to point out. This was about a 5-hour train ride. I taped a lot. I didn't tape all of it. But I edited what I had down to an hour, and that to me speaks for how cool this train ride was. It was great. Some of my video is going to be off a little bit. You'll have to forgive me. It's a no-budget video. You know, it was raining. Sometimes my camera might focus on the rain on the window instead of what was outside. But I think for the most part, I think this is an enjoyable video. If you like trains, if you like train rides and just kind of watching, this is pleasant.
You're supposed to.
Andrew. For Gold Star passengers only, I will be coming through the train car shortly, seating groups one by one until everyone has been fed. We do practice festival-style seating. This means if you're a party of one or two, you will be seated with another.
Welcome aboard, folks. My name is Bryce. I'll be one of your tour guides on board the train today. We're wondering about, if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to flag me or my fellow tour guide, Ella. So, see any of us, flag us down. We'd love to stop and chat. However, if you can't find us, you can find onboard supervisor Lauren, and she'd be more than welcome to help you guys out. She'll also be able to help out with any of the more complicated matters on board the train.
My crew and I consider ourselves memory makers, and we're hoping we're going to create some great memories for you today. If there's anything that I or my staff can do to help you have a great memory, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm not telling you we're going to do what you request, because the number one request is illegal and it never happens. But we'll do our best to accommodate any request to make it a very enjoyable trip for you. This is one of the most scenic road journeys in the world. Outside Magazine rated in the top 10. Cruise Life rated as the #1 most scenic road journey. And here in a little bit, when it gets daylight, we'll see some of it. Fortunately, we're still in town right now, so we're not missing too much. But we're going to do our best to show you all there is to see. We saw some moose yesterday. We saw sheep, beluga whales. I don't know what the types are. The type has to be a see whales. But anyway, the type is we might see some whales. And we will do our best to show it all to you. Now, a little bit about myself. I started riding this train when I was 9 years old. At 19, I went to work for them during money to go to college, and somewhere down the line I forgot to go to college, so here I am. And I said all that to say this, if you have any questions, I'll stop as I walk through the train today. If you ask me questions, I'll be more than happy to stop and chat with you and answer your questions.
All of you folks got within the next like 20 to 30 minutes.
Stop me with a question. I'm lucky I have Bryce and Ella with
But it'll
today.
be within an hour and 30 minutes.
They're teenagers, they know how to do that Google thing. So we'll get you an answer one way or the other.
Does that mean us?
And we look forward to chatting
We'll
with
be
each and every
coming
one
up
of
and
you.
bringing people down.
Now there's a
The
couple things
longest
I have
you'll
to
wait is
stress on
about an
here.
hour and 30 minutes.
As you walk through the train, there's 3 different style doors. There's a swinging door like your house. No instructions needed. There's a manual sliding door. You grab a handle, you slide it open, you step through it. Very important. You turn around and you slide it closed. If you don't close it behind you, they're going to yell at you. I've already told them to yell at you. So it's very annoying for the people sitting around that door. For those that are even more annoying when you close it behind people every 5 minutes. So expect to get yelled at if you leave the door open. Then we come to our problem child. It should be the easiest. If you go right finger or button, you push it, the door slides open, you walk through it, keep on going. It'll close all by its lonesome. It doesn't need any help. Unfortunately, everybody thinks they need to close it. They turn around for the door. There is no handle. There's nothing to grab a hold of except the safety strip. They grab the safety strip, they pull on it, they rip the safety strip off. And now the door says, oh no, I'm broken, and it locks itself open for the rest of the day. And those people are really going to yell at you if they have that door open. It might make you change seats with them and stuff. It'll be a very noisy trip. And they've also been instructed if you reach for the safety strips to yell at you. So just remember, if you're grabbing a hold of something rubber, that's wrong and don't do it. Under Alaska law, if you go up there without paying for it, it's considered theft. We will treat it as such. So if you want to upgrade, get a hold of my onboard supervisor, Lauren, and you can upgrade. I believe we have seats up there today to upgrade. Talk to him about an upgrade, but don't go up the Gold Star cars unless you're authorized to do so. All right, that's all the grumpy notifications I have to say. We're going to sit back and relax, really, the drive it to Chuck and Lee, and we're going to have a wonderful day. Thank you.
A lot of gravel. I know, you may not think it's very important. However, to us here on the Alaska Railroad, actually one of our most important parts, one of our largest cash crops, we haul right around 2 million tons of all that gravel just around the state every year. And the reason for that is this is something known as the permafrost. Now, what is this permafrost, you may ask? Well, permafrost is ground that has been frozen for hundreds of consecutive years. Usually sits just a few feet underneath the surface and can be up to 2,000 feet thick. So what this does is, as the seasons change, this ground that's frozen solid, just the very top layers of it will freeze and thaw as the years go on. The seasons change, so that creates quite an unstable building surface. All that gravel fill is used for stabilization of the ground for construction. You can tell there's quite a lot of that gravel there. We're going to be passing by a few more gravel pits on our way to Seward today.
But I guess
So you can tell we really don't take our sand and gravel for granted. Wow, tough crowd. Come on guys, my jokes rock. Now this big long strip of grass we're following along, it's actually an active airstrip. So this is the Flying Crown airstrip, constructed a long time ago, back in the early 50s. So maybe wondering to yourself, was it safe? Is it legal to have an airstrip in the backyards of these houses here? Not exactly. It's not anymore. As since the Flying Crown airstrip was built over 60 years ago, that means the airstrip itself is older than the law is keeping it from being, preventing it from being built in the first place, meaning it's still allowed to be functional as of something known as grandfather rights. Now, a couple fun facts about airplanes here in the state of Alaska. So we actually have 6 times more pilots than any other state, as well as 16 times more aircraft per capita. Now, the main reason for that is only about 25% of all of the communities and villages here in the state of Alaska are actually accessible by road, meaning that the rest of the communities here in the state of Alaska are only accessible by plane. 75%. So out of that small amount of road that does connect those areas, only about 30% of that road is paved. The rest of it is all just dirt and gravel roads. So, something to put that in perspective, that even though the state of Alaska is 2.5 times the size of Texas, our road system is smaller than that of Rhode Island. Another fun fact for everybody here is Texas. You guys are going to just love this one. Now, if you were to take the state of Alaska and cut it in half right down the middle, that would make Texas the 3rd largest state, with either halves of Alaska being 1st and 2nd.
Wow.
Put the Alaska flag in there.
Oh,
Mark here. Actually used to be the designated area where they were going to put the Anchorage landfill. Wildlife and waterfowl here.
Became a state.
And you can see
The explanation for the flag was the North Star's on there because we're the farthest north state. The big difference there because it's the Ursa Minor, which is the bear, for all our bears. And then the stars are gold for all the gold up here. And it's on a field of blue because of all our big blue skies that you can't see.
Eventually found out this place.
But that's the explanation he gave when he began his design in the contest.
Legislature, trying to get them to change their mind. Let's see, thankfully they are successful in doing so. This area has now been deemed Otter Marsh Bird Reserve.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Morning. Morning.
Yeah, and how cool was that? You can actually see he did a little impression of the Alaska state flag on your tickets, which I thought was really cool. Interesting information there. We paid extra to be in the kind of glass top train here, which I think is gorgeous. And they made an announcement that if you got on this train without buying a ticket, they considered it theft. I thought that was interesting. And really funny guy, I think Bryson, he was telling some information about how big the state is. Just good stuff.
Occasionally we do see beluga whales in the water around this area. However, it is a little bit late in the season to be able to be seeing them. However, yesterday we did see quite a few of them, so do keep your eyes out. You may get lucky today. Typically when we do see them, they aren't too far from shore. They stay within about 100 to 500 or 600 feet from shore. However, if you do happen to see something, make sure the rest of your train car knows. So if you do see some of those beluga whales, make sure to holler out. Everybody around you may get a chance to see them. However, they will blend in pretty well with the white caps of the waves we have today. When you do see them, it really is just going to be the tops of their backs that roll out of the water, that disappear back under. They don't jump and breach out of the water like most other whales do. These beluga whales are actually some of the smallest species of whale. They're also the only species of whale that actually burn their neck. So that allows them to maneuver around much more easily, catch fish in the water. It's actually the main reason they're here in the Turnagain Arm, is this body of water we've now started following along. The salmon run is typically during August, so that salmon run did kind of dissipate towards the end of the season, the end of the month of August. That's why I said we'd be lucky if we did see any of those whales today.
By the way, I don't think I got any of those whales on video. But if you see them or any other animals I might have caught without realizing, let me know. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, and we're on to the dining cart now. Check out these breakfasts. They're great. Also, the guy let my wife order 2 breakfasts. They're really cool here. And this was a great breakfast. I really enjoyed it. It was worth the price.
Question. I'm just really curious about this cereal. Can I order that too, or do I have to pay extra for that? Okay. I just like to try it because it smells so good. Thank you.
Something for drink, maybe?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Something for drink?
Oh, drink. I'm just going to stick with my tea.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, how cool was that? My wife had already ordered one of the other breakfasts, but she was curious about the kind of cereal thing they offered, and he just brought her not even a side of it, but a whole bowl. We both got to try that. It was really good. Everything was good. I know I read on TripAdvisor, maybe some other websites, that the breakfasts weren't that great on here, or they were below average. That's not true. These were great breakfasts. There's that cereal stuff. It was just really good. And then she also had kind of a full breakfast there. And one of the options you could have was a certain type of sausage. I don't want to say what kind it was, but the animal may have had a red nose at one time. But yeah, so I tried some of that. It was very good, and I had the sausage biscuits. This was a great breakfast. I mean, it was easily a 9, if not a 10, on a 1 to 10 scale. Just good stuff. Everything on the train was just perfect. And just so you have know what it looks like, there was kind of the dining car, and they sort of took us in shifts, which was fine. It worked out perfectly. It was no problem. I'm actually going to shut up and just let you enjoy the whistles and the announcers talking. Of course, there are other people around talking about, their grandchild's 3rd grade school class and that kind of stuff. But I think you can still kind of hear what's going on. And this gives you a little idea. There was an open air area where you could go and look around. Again, this was just a great train ride. It was very organized. I've been on some. I know here in Kentucky we've got Big South Fork, which is not a good train ride at all. There's a couple of other good ones here in Kentucky, but I've been on some very unorganized and kind of beat up train car kind of train rides, and this just wasn't it at all. This was pure class, and we had a really good time. Yeah, and again, this is about an hour. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm gonna, again, just let this play out. There obviously are some flaws. I'm working with one camera. But I hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you think about it, especially if you've done it before.
It's actually one of the only towns in the state where the population will actually grow during the winter instead of the summer. So typically during the summer, the population of Fairwood is about... the population typically reaches about 1,800 residents. However, in the winter, the population will actually sometimes double. Get upwards of 3,000. Now, the main reason for that is because
it looked rainy, so I didn't know.
Looks like we may have some more beluga whales off on the, holy moly, off on the right-hand side. They're going to be up in front of the locomotive. I believe I did just see a count of about 5 of them. Again, they're straight out next to the locomotive. They are popping in and out. Perfect view for all of us. Again, we're slowing down for you guys. Again, right now they're going to be up about at the 1 to 2 o'clock position up in front of the train. We are getting real slow for you guys. Here in adventure class, nothing to worry about. We're going to be pulling past them. They're not going to disappear, so you're going to have plenty of time. So again, the A car is almost directly next to them. Coming in and out. Only a few hundred feet offshore. They're almost right next to B car now. There's a whole lot of these beluga whales. Adventure class, I know you guys, I just saw a really nice sighting of one. You guys, your adventure class, nothing to worry about. We're going to be pulling past them. You guys may already have seen some of them, but again, they're on the right. Only a few hundred feet offshore, right on the other side of the Seward Highway. They're going to be out kind of behind Gold Star now. If you're in Gold Star, you start craning your neck back and out behind us. It'll be next to adventure class now. And I saw another one actually pop up right next to Gold Star B. And of course now the trees are starting to come in. That's great timing.
And of course we got a little bit of iffy footage there. Nothing to get excited about, but we did see a little bit. Kind of, I guess, just of their presence. We will see a couple of moose later in the video, and some eagles. Again, nothing great, but you can definitely tell what they are. But nothing for me to submit to National Geographic or anything like that. But yeah, but it was cool seeing them.
Leaves.
All these dead trees are actually caused by the 1964 earthquake, which is way back in, well, 1964. So this earthquake was on March 27th, 1964, sometimes known as the Good Friday quake. It was a 9.2 on the Richter scale, within this area for right around 5 minutes. So because of that, that made it the largest earthquake in North American history, as well as the third largest earthquake in the history of the entire world. So with that shaking for such an extreme amount of time, basically since the ground underneath us is mostly made of glacial silt, which is really fine sediment. During that shaking, the ground is basically liquefied. Caused all these trees, along with the elevation in this area, to pretty much just drop about 6 to 10 feet. So it all just sank right down. These trees fell right along with it. And they sucked up the salt water as the water table rose. It seeped in from the Turnagain Arm. They sucked up that water. And that seawater basically just pickled those trees. They've been preserved there since 1964. They will continue to look like that for right around the next 100 years. Will they eventually decompose. So we actually have a special name for those kinds of trees there that were killed by the 64 quake. We call them silent dogwood because they have no bark. Also here in just a moment, we're going to be crossing over a really big river. Now this is going to be the 20-mile river. It flows from the 20-mile glacier way in the back of the valley off to our left. So we're crossing over here. This river, earlier in the summer, is really popular for fishermen coming out here looking for hooligan fish. Hooligan fish are a really popular bait for halibut. They use that up in the ocean as bait. These hooligan fish, also really special, they have a special nickname, even a long time ago. It's called candlefish. The reason they're called candlefish is because back when the early Alaskan natives populated south central Alaska here, they would catch these hooligan fish and then dry them out. How some different cultures dry out different meats. They'd use these dried fish and all their extreme amount of oil. These fish are especially oily. And first up with a piece of spruce bark, stick that into the mouths of the fish, allowing them to just light it on fire. Those candle fish were burnt for right around 5 hours. Now, does anybody want to take a guess on how long 20-mile river is?
3 miles.
Well, if you said 20 miles, you'd be correct. It's 20 miles. These tracks that are also over on our left, peeling off into the back of the valley there. If we were to take those about 12.5 miles out to the small port town of Whittier. And so, the port town of Whittier, like I said, is about 12.5 miles that direction. It's connected to the Alaska Railroad way back in 1941. And the construction of the famous Whittier Tunnel, or the Anton Anderson Tunnel as it's really called. This tunnel is about 2.5 miles long, stretching all the way underneath a huge mountain. Constructed. It only took about 6 months to build. Teams of 2 teams dug from either side. They finally met in the middle about 1.25 miles later. When they did meet in the middle, keep in mind this is back in 1942. They were only off center by about 6 inches. And so that tunnel was extremely helpful in aiding in supplying Alaska with supplies for World War II. As Alaska was especially helpful in defending against all different forces. As the military base in Anchorage is getting increasingly popular, that's J-Bear, or Joint Base Elemental Richardson. the right behind the mountains. We'll be meeting back up in about 35 miles to get to the small town of Moose Pass. From here on out, until we get there, we're going to be first going to do a little slice of Alaska that is only accessible by the Alaska Railroad. We have this just for you guys. Here we're moving on into the Placer River Valley. Placer River itself, going to be off to the right. We'll be weaving out in and out next to us. However, do keep an eye out for moose, as this is one of the most common areas where we do see those moose. When we do see them, they're more likely going to be on the right. However, now that I said that, I have probably jinxed it and everything's going to be on the left. But again, we do see them. Our engineers up front aren't on the lookout while they're driving for us. So if they happen to spot anything up ahead, they'll let our staff know, as well as me. I can let you guys know on the bike. However, you guys combined you with a lot more eyeballs than I do. So, you guys having your eyes out would be much more helpful. A whole bunch of cranes taking off as well. Holy moly. Again, that is a moose on the right, sitting straight out in the middle of that field, posing for us out there. And it's pretty much straight out from the B car now. It's a big dark spot. I know it's not a great picture taking opportunity, but you can take a picture with your eyes, brag to your friends that you saw one. If you don't get a picture of it, just take a really blurry picture of a stump, maybe, off the distance to show that to your friends. Right there, the mountain that's just above it, not the tallest one, the smaller one that is above it, Lubner Peak. That tallest one we can see up there, kind of out ahead of us, all over on the left. That is actually Railroad Peak. The smaller one that's in between us and that very tall mountain, Railroad Peak. The small one is Lubner.
Hold your position unless you're getting off at Spencer. I don't want you in the aisles. If you're in the bistro car, stay there. If you're headed for the bistro car, just stay where you're at till we get moving, please. I've got to get 30 people off in a timely fashion, and we don't want the aisles plugged up. We'll be, as soon as we start moving, you're free to move about the train again. Thank you.
Reindeer sausage.
I didn't know I was getting that, but I guess I did.
It was good. I was afraid I would like it, but I could eat it.
I don't, if I had known, I probably would have eaten that name just reindeer.
I guess so.
Our journey today. We'll be emerging from the trees here in just a moment. Again, this is coming down between the two mountains, the valley off on our left. This is going to be Spencer Glacier. Right here, both cars going past it. There's a small tent right here next to the train. It's actually where they house one of those 105mm howitzer cannons I was talking about previously. Use that for avalanche control in the winter. And that large wooden bridge that we can see coming up as well, crossing over the Placer River. Actually the longest wooden single-span bridge in the entire world. So that is just a pedestrian bridge. Only used for people crossing it, get to a trail, but it is the longest wooden single-span bridge. Single-span meaning that it doesn't have any connecting points to the ground other either end. Over again, we have the beautiful Spencer Glacier off in the distance over on the left. From where we are now, it's about 3 miles away from the very base. And at the very base as well, from one side to the other, it's about a half a mile wide. Beautiful glacier there. Back in the year 1905, when they started construction of the tracks right where we are now, the base of Spencer Glacier was actually about only 200 yards from the tracks. Imagine the base of that glacier almost being close enough to be able to reach out and touch it. However, since the year 1905 up until the year 2000, Spencer Glacier had an average recession rate of approximately 103 feet per year. Meaning that for every year it melt back about 103 feet. That's farther than it would advance forward. However, since the year 2000 up until the present, that recession rate has about doubled. So it's now just over 200 feet every year, mostly in the summer months. Alright, now if you're curious on how Spencer Glacier got its name, way back in 1905, when they started construction here, I was talking about previously, there's a man that worked on the railroad by the name of Edward Spencer. And this is the man in charge of making sure all the workers on the railroad got paid. He was the timekeeper here. He would travel from camp to camp where the workers would stay. So one day, Edward Spencer was traveling from Camp 52 to Camp 55, back when the camps were simply named after the mileposts that they were adjacent to. And when he was doing so, he realized he may have left a little bit later than he normally did. It was getting a little too dark. So his boss was telling him, no, don't go. It's too dangerous, you'll get lost. And Edward Spencer did not heed his warnings. He said, no, I've done this trail 1,000 times, I'll do this trail 1,000 times more. I need to pay my workers. And so he did, he left. He went traversing off into the distance. However, along that, I just see 2 moose on the left. They're straight out from A and B car. Looks like a mother and baby as well. They're out in the valley about 200 feet down. Away from that neighbor pond. Right next to B car right now. Down in the valley. Right towards us. Again, there's 2 moose down there. Really close. Only about 200 feet away.
No, we're going to
We'll be interrupted by those moose there. I'm talking about Spencer I'll sum up the story real quick.
I was going to say the whole train is about to go over.
That would be
Edward Spencer did not make it to that camp. His body was found about a year later, about 2,000 feet from the trail. They did find him. He was actually missing the bag of gold he used to pay the workers. Back then, that money would have been worth about $4,000, or today it equals out to about $80,000. So if you happen to be wandering around here, find a bag of gold, pick up me a share. He's the one who told you about it. However, under those moose there, so we did see a mother and a little calf. The term that we have for mother moose, or cows, little babies, all those calves. And then the term for male moose, we call those bulls. The term that we have for mother moose that have just given birth, we call those decaffeinated.
Caffeinated.
There it is, we are coming up the valley. First thing up the side of the mountain. We're going to be seeing a bunch of icebergs sitting in the lake that have fallen off of the face of Spencer Glacier. Floated right up to the shoreline here. Going to be off the lake about the 11 to 10 o'clock position from the front. A lot of those icebergs we'll see. Most of them aren't actually considered icebergs. Only the pieces that are 15 feet across or more are real icebergs. Those that are 7 to 15 feet across, known as growlers. Pieces that are 3 to 7 feet across are known as Berkey bits. While the pieces that are 3 feet across or less are ice cubes. However, ladies and gentlemen, we've about reached that halfway point. I'm going to be handing off the microphone to my good friend and fellow tour guide, Ella. If you guys have any questions we'll be wondering about now, slide me down to the base of the voice you can hear from above. If you guys enjoyed my commentary, if you didn't, my name was definitely not Bryce. My name was Ella. I'm just kidding. Alright, I'll see you around.
Let's see what Bryce looks like. I see Avery's best friend rolling.
Alright, thank you, Bryce. So we are going to be passing through these tunnels, and we're going to be going through 5 in total. And in between these tunnels, we will be going over the Glacier River Gorge. And when we go over it, it'll be right after the 5th tunnel. We'll be going over a bridge and be about 100 feet in the air over the Glacier River. This is definitely something you want to have your camera out for. Because when we go over that bridge, directly after the 5th tunnel, on the left we'll be able to see the full gorge, and on the right we'll be able to see where the river is going. Now my advice for the best pictures to take possible while on the train is to place your camera or phone directly onto the glass, and then remove the flash so that you can remove all possible glare, so you can get a great picture of what's outside the train car instead of what's inside. But when it gets close enough, you can see there's a river down there going. across the river and be 100 feet in the air. So get your cameras ready. And now we are going to be going along the S curves. This is definitely something you want to take your camera out for if you want to capture some pictures of the engine up front. These are some very tight curves that we'll be going along, and so from the back of the train we'll be able to see the full curvature of the train. We can also see on the left-hand side the Bartlett Glacier. This was named after Frank Bartlett, the designer of the loop, and is the closest glacier that we have to the Alaska Railroad. It is actually only 1/2 mile away from the tracks.
At the end of the trip, I was like, so what do you think of Florida? We just never going down. This is so cool. It's like, okay then. Thank you.
Now, as I was saying a little bit earlier about the percent grades that we have on the Alaska Railroad, the S-curves are used to get up this very steep slope. That is why we have to go along the curvature. Since this actually has the highest grade we have on the Alaska Railroad, being a 3% grade.
It's hard. Yeah.
So as you might have guessed, for every 100 feet we are traveling currently, we are going up in elevation 3 feet.
Like people go through like literally waist high, water high.
Our camp counselors in general, though, I always get Zoe to talk to them because I'm like, they're an example of you go to college and do great things, but you still also live your life.
That's all I'm doing.
Now off here on the left-hand side, we can see this special waterfall. This is called the Grandview Falls, but it also has a nickname called the Snow White Falls. And that's because this waterfall has 7 different tiers. It gets the nickname Snow White Falls because each tier will represent one of the 7 dwarves in the Snow White story.
That makes sense.
Some very short glimpses of the last glacier that we'll be seeing today on our way towards Seward. This will be the Trail Glacier. We'll only be able to get 2 instances where we can see it, and the train is slowing down so that we can get the most of these instances. The first glimpse of this glacier will be about 1 second long, but the second will be about 4 seconds long. So get your cameras ready and get ready for that view of Trail Glacier.
Around the corner. Around the corner.
Now as we're looking for Trail Glacier, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. This is one of our more unique glaciers because it has a medial moraine, which looks like a dark brown strip that runs right up the middle of the glacier. Moraine is usually on the sides of the glacier, and it is caused when the sides will scrape away boulders and debris from the sides of the mountain, which will cause that dark brown color. But Trail Glacier was actually once 2 glaciers that merged together long ago. And so their moraines merged together in the middle, creating this unique medial moraine.
Oh, Mike, here's another one. Right here. Here it is. Shoot it. We killed
And I know. I don't know if we could afford tickets this week. And obviously, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I was resisting for a long time, but I just finally was like, I get the damn especially for somebody on the water. I love coming back, yeah. He's all after only being in our background 2 days.
Elders and Eagles.
Oh, yes.
Just went by beat car, so the ARV went backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, it sure is.
Conductor Warren here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to what's called Eagle Alley. So, while I'm talking to you,
But I mean, I'm not, she was like bringing her spices and stuff.
I think we'll start out by thanking my staff, the cooks, the bartenders, the servers, the tour guides, and everybody for doing such a great job this morning. Thank you guys. And then on behalf of myself, Engineer Chuck, Engineer Lee, and the rest of my staff, thank you very much for joining us today. We truly hope we exceeded your expectations and we created some great memories.
You did! You did!
Some of you are getting on a cruise ship heading all the way to Vancouver. Have a great cruise. Some of you are just going to experience a week here in Seward. Enjoy it. It's a great place to hang out and have fun.
And we talked to the rock.
And some of you are going back with me tonight. Listen up. That is what I'm needing to talk to you about. First off, you must get a new boarding pass. Go to the depot, get a new boarding pass before you get back on the train. I'm going to say that one more time just to make sure you heard me. You must have a new boarding pass. Secondly, I want you on the train at 5:45. It's very important that we get out of town right on time because my crew and myself are on hours of service law, and if we don't leave on time, we don't make any increase.
If you are returning with us back towards Kirkwood and Anchorage.
Yes, there is. I see him.
You can get your tickets as soon as you get off the train at the depot, but you can also wait until we're boarding again. We will be boarding the train from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, but we will be leaving at 6 o'clock sharp. So as Conductor Warren says, please be on the train at 5:45 so that we don't leave you behind.
Oh, looks like there's
There are many different shows that will be waiting for us at the depot that will take you to your various destinations. However, if you are just wandering around town today, we do have a free shuttle available in Seward. It'll be a white van with the words free shuttle on the side in red letters. If it isn't there by the time we're there at the depot, it will arrive in about 20 to 30 minutes.
challenge this we got. I'm not missing out.
Thanks, not missing out. He's going on the 8-wheel bike ride.
To the right.
This has to be terrible. I remember it was like really weird. That's cute. Tired.
I'm gonna stay home and take a nap.
I heard you guys talking about young girls who don't want to go anywhere because they're so worried about everything. Yes, you said that. Yeah, I understand. It's a crazy world. And you do have to just kind of go take your risk. You got to take your chances there. You're not going to have circus. Yeah, right. Okay, the bike ride. Can't live like that.
I mean, having that wheel the same. Things usually work out for us.
That's good.
Yeah, it's like, it's gonna be okay. Make it perfect. May not be exactly what it is. But, you know, it's also not having to fight with it on a car or something.
And that's the thing.
Hey, buddy.
And that's part of the adventure.
Yeah, and we're coming into Seward, which I would really enjoy this town. We would spend a couple of days here, and then we would get on our cruise ship, the Norwegian Jewel, and have a great cruise through Alaska, making our way to Vancouver, spend a few days there. But this was great. This was wonderful. And I've talked to other people who've done the cruise and done Alaska, and just about everybody that does this says this is a highlight. And I really enjoyed it. If you stayed with me through this whole hour, God bless you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's just kind of me with my camera. Making a little home video for myself for the most part. And yeah, and there was the engine of our train. Here in Seward, there's like a little shopping area set up in old rail cars. This was a coffee shop bookstore I was hoping to visit, but they were actually closed for the week while we were there. And then we stayed at the Harbor 360 Hotel. I'm going to put up another video about that place. That's a great hotel. Again, Seward was a great town. Harbor 360 Hotel was amazing. And that's actually our cruise ship coming into Seward that we saw from the balcony of our room at the Harbor 360. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. The Alaska Railroad.